Thank you for your stay. The email arrived the way small earthquakes do, quietly, with a subject line that suggested everything was normal. Thank you for your stay, it said, and then the hotel's name. We've added 2,000 points to your account. It wasn't my account. It was ours. Years ago, we made one travel profile to catch the rare nights we could afford. I delete them like seashells. But this one listed the place 3 stops from our subway, the one with the lobby that pretends to be a living room. Dates: yesterday to yesterday, day room. Check-in 12:03 p.m. Checkout 5:04 p.m. 2,000 points for 5 hours of being someplace that wasn't home. I run a picture framing shop on Birch Street. People come to me with posters, diplomas, portraits of dogs dressed like mayors, and I commit the practical miracle of making edges behave. On the morning the email arrived, I was squaring a mat around a child's crayon drawing of a blue house and a green sky. The kid had labeled the clouds with words like friends and COUSINS and mom, block letters marching in the weather. I admired the audacity of a sky that particular, and set my knife aside because my hand had decided to shake. We have a rule for anything less than disaster: walk twice before nomming it. So I walked the long loop that lets me be cowardly without calling it that. Past the bakery where the croissants are always 3 minutes from ready, past the shop with inexplicable lamps, down to the river where a man who might be a poet or a substitute teacher feeds stale pretzels to gulls. I told myself the reasonable stories. Tessa could have used my login for guest Wi-Fi. Hotels are thirsty for emails. She could have booked the room for a client. The community center uses that lobby for quick grant interviews when the office is loud. The points might be a mistake. Computers are friendly and often wrong. Tessa came a little before 6 in her city clothes and her after-a-day shoulders, and kissed me the way people do when their mouth is still thinking about someone else's meeting agenda. "Are you free for the opening?" she asked, holding up 2 postcards for the neighborhood galleries, Emergent Urbanities show. "Sure," I said. "Give me 10 to close up." The kid's green sky drawing was wrapped and bagged. The hang wire on the back of someone's diploma had been tightened into decency. The register's drawer had made its final opinion for the day. I almost said, "Did you stay in a hotel living room this afternoon?" But the sentence got stage fright at the door of my mouth. We walked the 4 blocks with the habit of couples who live close to many things. The opening was small plates and large opinions. Later, while a DJ coaxed confidence from people's knees, I said it. "I got an email from the halcyon. Points." She didn't drop the cocktail napkin. She didn't perform guilt. She took one careful breath and let it graduate into another. "Okay," she said. "Before we perform the dramatic version, can I try the boring truth?" "Please." "A donor asked to meet," she said. "The office was noisy. He booked a day room and I said yes because he's 78 and lives on the other side of town and thinks Zoom is a nickname. We met in the lobby. We talked for an hour. I came home to the office and wrote a report that used the word alignment too often. I didn't think about points." "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, and managed to make it sound more curious than wounded. It was luck. My voice is not always brave enough to be generous. "Because it felt like an errand," she said. "Because I didn't want to give the moment credit for being a moment. Because I didn't want the hotel to be in our house." At home, Tessa went to change and a receipt fell out of her coat. It was from the hotel cafe, 2 Americanos, 1 almond croissant, a note in a handwriting that looked like polite thunder, for next time. A phone number on the bottom edge. "Tessa," I said, holding the paper as if it were evidence of something less and more than what it was. She read it and made a face I can only describe as competent shame. "He is a letter I do not want in our alphabet," she said. "He asked, I said no. He insists on being a man who thinks no is a synonym for please make me ask better. I like the way he funds things. I do not like his manners." She took the receipt, tore the number off, folded it into itself, then into itself again, then dropped it in the sink like it knew how to swim. "I am not trying to make you be my bouncer," she added, softer, "but I don't want to be alone with that letter again." "Then we won't," I said, and felt some part of myself step into an older shape, protector, not owner. I do not know how to be that man without becoming a cartoon. I am learning. We went to therapy the following Tuesday because we have never been so special that we can skip professionals. The therapist's office had 12 plants and one clock that thought highly of its ticking. She asked clean questions. Tessa said the thing she always says when she is taking responsibility sincerely. "I don't want to outsource my attention." I said the thing I say when I'm scared of sounding smaller than I feel. "I don't want to be the person you save good news for last." The therapist nodded like a mechanic who has seen this model before. "Build what you miss," she said, then gave us a pencil and a pad and told us to draw our hallway. We sketched our hallway anyway and wrote, "No rented afternoons." We made rules. No hotel lobbies with him, public tables. If a room must be rented, we rent it together. For a while, life took the hint and behaved. The donor wrote a check with commas and signed it with the dignity he sometimes forgets he has. The hotel stopped writing us as if we were friends. The framing shop received a wave of graduation photos that asked to be made more permanent than they feel. Tessa started a practice of texting me mid-afternoon with a want so small it couldn't embarrass either of us. "Want to stand in the kitchen and smell oranges." "Want to sit on the steps and let the dog pretend he's in charge." "Want a mean nap." We were ridiculous. It worked. Then an invitation arrived, a panel on philanthropy and urban futures. Moderator, Daniel. Venue, the hotel. We drafted, yes to the stage, no to the lobby. At midnight, disappointed, see you in the room. At the event I sat in back. Afterward I walked her through the lobby. The donor waved from a distance. Daniel did not approach. We went home with our points unearned. You could say that should have closed the chapter. Instead, life, being a fan of sequels, attempted one more round. A week later, the hotel sent another email. "We miss you, double points this month." I hovered over the unsubscribe, then stopped because I like knowing what tries to own us. Tessa forwarded me a second thing. A message from Daniel with a photo of the cafe's almond croissant, the caption trying to be witty and not making it out of the try. She didn't reply. She archived it with a label we invented just then. Paper towel, absorb and discard. We redeemed the points for towels. We put the towels in the hallway closet where their soft insistence could be measured by use and nothing else. The next time we needed quiet, we made the kitchen behave. Chairs facing, kettle unplugged before it finished complaining. We stood by the sink and said, "I miss you. I am here." If you want the scene where I smash a glass and earn a scar and call it proof, I'm sorry. Our evidence is dull by design. We keep it in drawers. Receipts for nothing, appointment cards for necessary teeth, a photo strip where we both look like we said yes to something permanent and meant it. Some days I still turn the shop's clock face down and bully time into proceeding without my permission. Some days Tessa texts me a picture of our dog asleep in the sun, and the caption says nothing because nothing is required. Last week on a Tuesday so ordinary it felt like a decoy, Tessa emailed me from upstairs. The subject line said, "Thank you for your stay." The body said, "Lunch is ready, come home." I locked the front door of the shop and walked 2 blocks under a green sky I hadn't noticed before. In the kitchen, the kettle was wrong in the best way. The oranges were already peeled. We ate standing up like criminals and laughed like witnesses. The towel in the hallway closet did what towels do. It waited, indifferent and faithful. The hotel, wherever it was, did not mind. Our points did not mind. We were added back to an account with no ledger and we spent everything at once.